G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the north side of the map in the colour orange on the Malians, it is, I have a cattle, I have a scout. Cattle scout. When I saw this name, I'm like, it's gotta be like, I have an apple, I have a pen, apple pen. It's gotta be. There's no two ways about it. He's finally made the switch to Age of Empires. Great to see. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. We're on Dry Arabia, on the south side of the map. Playing in the color red as the Chinese, it's Liquid to Muslim. I'm excited for this game. Very excited, of course. The Chinese against the Malians. Bit of an interesting matchup. Of course, the Chinese, one of my favorite civilizations, a civilization that scales into the late game as long as you've got the town centers to support it. So I'm curious exactly what kind of strategy the Muslim's going to be going for here. We'll have a look at his opening. Looks like it's going to be the standard de Muslim opening. I think it's the 6-3-3. Actually, looking like he might switch things up a little bit. He's going to start off with the 6 vills on the foot and then head out to the gold. Normally we do see him take the 3 vills on wood, but not this case, not today. So opening up with a village, really nice to have this village down. Great positioning as well on the village. Keep in mind that he'll be able to put the lumber camp down right next to this village, and so that any of the villagers that get raided can just jump straight inside that village. So very, very nice. And now starting to rally out to food. But of course, we're on Dry Arabia. It's a map that is very open. Definitely one of my favorite maps. In fact, the favorite map. I've been playing a lot of English lately on the ladder. And I just feel like all I want to do is just play Dry Arabia. And I think part of that is because of the safe wood spawns that you've got. You know, you play one too many games on Prairie and you're just like, man, I can't deal with these nights anymore. So having the safety of these big forests on Dry Arabia definitely has its bonus. But of course, there are bonuses to it, and there are also downsides. It's obviously a very open map. But this map spawn seems to be relatively easy to wall, especially for the Muslim. He's got a great spawn. Double front wood lines, easily enabling him to connect over to the edge of the map here. Nice wall come through here. And then at the same time, he can connect the dots. Connect the dot. Connect the dot, connect again to the edge of the map. Like, this is a great spawn, honestly, that the Muslim's got. Probably one of the best spawns. I tell you what makes this so good is that all of his food is going to be safely behind these walls as well. Take a look at this. Double deer pack. Got the berries here as well. Now, I think the question is going to be whether he actually gets those deer or not. Because one of the things that we have been seeing rising recently has been the rise of the Malians. Yes, that is correct. The Malian kings have risen. And one of the main strategies that we've been seeing out of a lot of Malian players is professional scouts. And not just any professional scouts. Professional scouts with warrior scouts, of course. Normally you'd see them lead with that second scout, but people have been moving towards a single scout opening, looking for that stable as soon as they age up. Some of the age ups you can see are as young as 3 minutes 22. We've seen, I think that was our world record time, 3 minutes 22. But most of them seem to be about around 345, 350, somewhere in that vicinity. So this one might be a little bit over that. It looks to me a bit, maybe just over 4 minutes, but we'll have to see exactly what happens. Now, I don't actually know who this player is. I do know that they are incredibly good. I just don't know who they are. I had a suspicion it was Salami, but I didn't see it as a linked account because on AoE4 World, it does actually show linked accounts. But yeah, I suspected it was Salami, but yeah, we didn't see anything. Anyway, expect to see the mill come down. Expect to see, you'll probably see the mill come down after the stable. You can see he's almost got enough resources now for that stable. Beautiful timing on this one. And you can see about that 4 minute mark, it's coming through. Not too long to go. And that age up is going to be in. So yeah, just the other side of the 4 minute mark. The stable going to come down immediately. Immediately. Okay, not going stable. Going a mill instead. Okay, I did not expect that. Very interesting. Hold on. What's going on with these villagers? Is he proxying a stable? The Muslim spots it. He's got Tang Dynasty, so he does spot that. Obviously got the Imperial Academy up. Let's have a look at this Imperial Academy positioning. Hits 1, hits 2. No lumber camp up just yet. If he goes out here for the lumber camp, then he hits all 3. There's the professional scouts coming in. But where's the stable? He's going proxy stable. What the? Excuse me? I don't think I've ever seen a proxy stable before. Now, the Muslim saw the vills come out here. He saw 2 vills leave the base. But maybe he just thinks that the enemy was going to build a pit mine somewhere. Excuse me? proxy stable and barracks? What is this game right now? Okay, I've got no idea who this player is, and this does not give you any indication. So, you know, often we talk about cheese, and I saw in a game that I casted recently, we were talking about cheese, and somebody in the comments I read said, Drongo, your definition of cheese is terrible. Or like, it needs refining. And all right, let's go. This is cheese, okay? What we're doing right now is cheese. You're intentionally hiding something from the enemy so that you can take advantage of the fact that they're unaware. You're misleading them into thinking that you may be doing something when you're not. Or misleading them into thinking that you may be doing something that you're not when you are. So basically, it's... that's probably the best way I'd say it. I'm sure that leaves so many different interpretations open, but the idea is like that you want to hide something. You want to mislead the enemy. You want to push them off in one direction. Now, we did see that, of course, Professional Scouts was on the way through. Did it come through just yet? It has come through. So Professional Scouts has been picked up here. We do see the first of the deers getting picked up, and a Musafadi warrior coming out. Why do we make a Musafadi warrior here? You're playing up against the Chinese. Worst case scenario, like there's no armored units that the Chinese are making, so Musafadi just feels so irrelevant here. That is a little bit strange, a little bit curious. Imperial official, sir. There's 13 villagers here that need supervision. Don't do it like that. Is this Imperial official coming to supervise here? I wonder what happened, but Muslim makes a little bit of a boo-boo here. Imperial official would have loved to have been supervising that. 13 villagers in there. Now going to come out. Oh no, he's not even coming out. He's just coming to collect attacks. Okay, now he's coming out. You can see that little waypoint. The Muslim going to spot the proxy, sees it immediately. I still don't understand the Musafadi though. Why the Musafadi? What's so special about them? I mean, what's the difference between a Donzo and a Musafadi? I guess the Donzo doesn't go invisible. That's the play potentially. I love the way that it's the proxy's out here though, and he can just quite literally run in. Rally the... You know what you could probably do? I wonder if it works. Can you shift-click onto these and have your scouts pick them up? Vil's going to be coming out. He's looking to get that town center down. Maybe that's why the Musafadi were out here. Perhaps their DPS is a little bit higher, but that's a lot of villagers. 13 villagers here. Vil's actually going to get pulled. He wants to fight this, and it looks like he's going to be contesting it. We see the scout just doing a little bit of posturing. Brings all villagers in. We'll try and get a little shot. It's so hard when they're underneath the little walls like that. Second... Warrior Scout comes out now. He's just looking to buy time and does the right thing. Looks to attack the villagers here. Surround comes through. More and more Warrior Scouts going to come down. Honestly, the best thing you probably could have done is just scared all these deer away so that you're not getting the best possible return, because I don't think you're ever going to find a circumstance where the Chinese are not able to get this town center up, and manages to take out the scouts. Still a couple of deer carcasses left here. I'd expect to see him try and come through and snipe these, but maybe a little bit of a mistake by not going for the furthest deer pack and instead going for the closest one to him or to his stables. The second TC's up, so Demuslim going to be really happy now that he's managed to get that TC up and playing it in an interesting style. Normally we don't. It's very rare to see the Chinese go for a second TC on top of a hunt. Normally you would see them go for it near the hunt and then put a mill down. That way they can supervise it, because right now you've got 13 vills or 11 vills that are isolated over here. And it's going to continue adding, and there's no Imperial official. And when you look at that as a percentage of the economy at this point, 11 villagers on your food, like there's not a huge amount of villagers. So 11 is pretty big, and now the 12th vill gets added. It's going to continue going up. So that's normally why we would see that. But I wouldn't be surprised if we've got a dive attempt coming. Of course, we're going to ride on board now with Cattle Pen or Cattle Scout. Immediately comes through. Looks to snag away a couple of these deers. It's going to be a bit of a heist. And Demuslim gets the deer stolen. Musafadi managing to run through, distract that town center, and you can see the TC did fire off an arrow. But he's managed to achieve his goal, right? He's denying the food. That's what he wants to do. So there's still a couple deer packs along here. One of them on the edge of the map. So in particular, this one's going to be difficult. Fortunately, it looks like it did get blasted out. And now in the center, we've got an outpost that comes up. Still doing circles with the villager around the TC. So villager count at the moment up for Demuslim. He's on 41, but keep in mind there's Imperial officials on the map. So there's 4 Imperial officials out. So realistically, that's only 38. So 34 versus 38 at this point. So Toll Outpost going to be coming up in the center, and Demuslim going to be moving into Jugunu. Up to 7 Jugunu already. One of the things that we've seen, or the rises that we've seen recently, is the rise of the Jugunu. Obviously, we've seen the rise of the Malians, but the Jugunu in particular have been very, very strong. And take a look at this. Demuslim says, Actually, I'm going to go very heavy on the Chukunu, and I like this. I like this a lot. One of the things I feel like people don't really take advantage of is the Imperial Age Chukunu, because the Chukunu falls off in the Castle Age just because the way that it works. So at this point in the game, the Chukunu is great because everything's got low health, and with low health, you're able to do a lot more damage as a percentage compared to your total damage output. As you reach the Castle Age, your veterancy upgrades come through, and a lot of units get that extra armor. You know, Men at Arms get an extra armor. You know, in this matchup in particular, Surfer Warriors get an extra armor. Javelin Throwers get an extra armor. So there's a lot of units that get extra armor, and then on top of that, they also get +2. And so it means that there's a lot of breakpoints that you're missing out on. But where the power of the Chukunu comes back after the Feudal Age is the Imperial Age. And that's simply because there's so many ways you can upgrade the Chukunu. You can get the Elite upgrade, you can get +3, and of course you can get Incendiary Arrows, which is actually going to buff up your attack by 2. So that's a really big thing to always look to try and take advantage of if you're going to be massing up Chukunu. And we can see +1 coming through for Demuslim now. But over on the other side of the map, it looks like a second town center going to be coming down. Bit of an interesting strategy, but I guess on a map like this, you don't really have the option for trade. I mean, you could go for trade here. It's not the worst. You're probably looking at about 40, 45 gold per minute from your traders on this, but you don't have the Saharan trade network, so you're not going to be getting that extra delicious, food through. But you can always drop down toll outposts. That's one thing to know. So every single deer has been picked up off this map except for 1 or 2 that were left out here. You can see the single carcass remaining. So all those deer are going to be safely snug underneath the town center of the Malians for the moment. Now, for anybody watching this and thinking, oh, you know, these guys are pretty good. I'd like to get as good as these guys. Well, if you'd like a little bit of help, make sure you always check out the Patreon. If you want to improve, check out the replay reviews, the private coaching, plenty of exclusive content over there. Leave a link in the description so you can go and find it. But let's get back into the game as +1 ranged attack comes through now for Demuslim. And he's very defensive, just sitting in his little pocket, nice and safe here. He's going to start looking to push out. Of course, there's an outpost here. He's got siege engineering through, so expect to see a battering ram going to be working its magic on this toll outpost. With the upgrade coming through, it's got plenty of health, and ideally you'd want to avoid fighting it with your Chukunu. These guys do a lot of damage when they're sieging. 37 damage times 3 for their 3 bolts. We're talking 100 damage a pop right there, but Warrior Scout's going to be coming in and looking to siege down the town center. There's no villagers out here, so nothing to defend this TC, nothing to repair this TC. You might want to think about walls, and he's thinking about walls. You know, we talked about it before. He's gone for a beautiful little wall across that top side. Chukunu going to be coming out. Immediately expect to see the Warrior Scouts fall back. He could pop some of these guys in the town center to get a shot off on this Warrior Scout, but it wouldn't really matter. I mean, you'd kill it, but still. And now the Javelin Throwers coming through. These guys got 4 armor. So only going to be doing 1 damage apiece, these Chukunu. But remember, there's a lot of Chukunu here. 23. You've got 70 health on the Javelin Throwers. So with 70 health and 1 damage a pop, you're going to need what? Close to 24, 23? 24 Chukunu to 1 shot. Push in the middle. Oh my lord. Oh, I got a blue box. I'm casting and I got a blue box. I don't think I've ever seen that this deep into a game. It's 13 minutes 37. 13 minutes 35, rather. I'm hoping that the blue box doesn't cause the game to crash. It's happened before. It will happen again. Second TC might go down here. Not a lot of pressure able to be replied in response. We do see the clock tower going to be coming through from Demuslim. Has he built up a lead? It's a pretty sizable lead here. The villager count, it's about 16 at this point. So that's not a terrible vill count. He's got 10 units inside the town center. He needs to find the Chukunu through right now. Plus, he needs to go veterancy and +2. Iron Undermesh, not really relevant here. When you're thinking about the amount of damage that's getting put out by these javelins, 13 damage, only taking 1 less damage, you ain't going to change any breakpoints with that. +2 is what becomes really important here. So with that veterancy upgrade, expect a little bit more damage to come out. So that what's crazy is Javelin Throwers have got 4 armor. The Chukunu have got 5 damage, so they're only doing 1 damage. By getting veterancy, they go from 5 damage to 6, effectively doubling their damage output. That is ludicrous when you think about that. What if I told you, hey, here's an upgrade that you can get. It's 350 resources, and it doubles your damage. That's ludicrous how much damage that is. Obviously, it's specific to that interaction. When it comes to the damage that they do against Warrior Scouts, they're already doing 4 damage, so it'll go from 4 damage to 5 damage. So they're only getting a 20%, or rather 25% increase there. But an interesting composition coming out from Demuslim though. The classic Nest of Bees Chukunu composition. It's a little bit vulnerable against cavalry, you could say, but this many Chukunu, and you're starting to feel safe. And look at the battering rams. Oh my lord, he's actually going to be taking him to the range. We're going to enter into the cinematic mode as he is pushing up right now, and he says, excuse me, sir, I do not approve of these rams. And look at the damage that comes out. Chukunu, oh my lord, they're crushing right now. That is crazy how much damage they're able to do in this situation. Just that extra little bit of damage, it's so noticeable. If you've ever played Chukunu up against javelins, you'll know how much damage these things don't take. But now falling back, the Nesta B is going to be looking to fire off, managing to take out a pretty decent chunk of this cavalry. They're going to be able to run through, looking to hit that Nesta B. Is he trying to move it? It looks like he's just going to commit to the attack. Second one comes through, still getting pushed back for the moment. Javelin thrower is continuing to push up. He's getting some good attack moves off here. So much damage coming out on these guys. Another attack move, and just absolutely destroying it. And Muslim having to head back to the drawing board. I did see him drop down a couple of barracks over towards that west side of his base. We see two of them. No supervision on them just yet, but he is starting to struggle, and the battering rams beginning to move in. Muslim needs a bit of a miracle right now. Where is it at? Zone 15 military population compared to his opponent who's 26 and 7, 28 and 7, 30 and 7. So big differences here. The palace guards are coming out. Expect to see Musafadis in response. We don't see any just yet. There's 3 in queue. And now could potentially house the Muslim. He's sitting at 120 population. That'll take him down to 80. And that's a great way to hurt him. Obviously, you're just going to rush up a village as soon as it happens. And the farm transition's beginning. The farm transition's beginning. Geez, wouldn't you like a little bit of food? It's the worst possible time to have that happen to you. Sitting on 500 food a minute at the moment. He's looking to pick up his fertilization upgrade. Palace Guard's going to be moving forward. Managing to get some pretty good connections here. Javelin thrower's not really paying attention. You can see how little damage is actually taking on those palace guards. And now that village goes down, population block comes through. He's 27 over the top. Javelin's doing a decent job of holding it down, but look at the palace guards. Palace guards just running rampage right now. Where are those Musafadi finally starting to trickle in? And it looks like it's going to be a hold here, at least for the moment, from Muslim on the defensive. But the town center, it is going down. Muslim's gone from 2 town centers down to 0. The landmark has fallen. Villagers, they're going to be doing a decent job here of sieging down these battering rams. And now, at this point, you're just throwing away battering rams. You'd ideally just prefer to get them. Oh my god, look at the proxy here. There is something so dangerous about doing a proxy like this. So this here is a cheese proxy, and this here is just like a proxy base. Proxy meaning just close to the enemy. And this is so dangerous to do, because you go for something like this, if you lose it, oh, you're in a world of hurt. You are in a world of hurt, my friend, because all of your production here is now on the front. You're talking 300, 900 resources here. 1,200 resources right here. Toll outpost, not really going to be counted for the moment. Nesta B is going to tee off. But this is trouble right now. And look at the score difference. The Muslim somehow up by 1,200 score, holding on despite losing the town centers. We can see plenty of vills in here repairing. He's got 10 vills on that. Going to be losing, not losing, but trickling a lot of wood out. The palace guards, that extra +2 armor, that's making all the difference. You know, we talked earlier about how the extra armor is not going to make a difference to these Chukunu. It might not make a difference to the Chukunu. It makes a big difference to the palace guards. They go from 3 armor up to 5. And when you're talking about, say, a javelin thrower, let's see if we can click on one. There we go. They're doing 9 damage. So you're reducing. So they were doing 66% damage, and then you're bringing them down below 50%, down to, what is it, like 44%, something around that number, 46%, somewhere in that region. 44%, I think I'll go with. So, yeah, it's well played by Muslim at this point. I'm impressed that he was able to hold that defense. I suspect had there been like 4 or 5 Musafadi in there, it would have been a different outcome this game, because there was so many battering rams. That is a game-ending amount of battering rams. Obviously, Muslim's got plenty of villages that he can pull. I think he's got textiles. Indeed, he does have textiles. But now, continuing to push forward and just doing a really good job. We hear relics getting picked up behind the scenes. He's picked up 1 already. Second one coming through. Let's see if we can spot it out. I don't see it. And now for the moment, the Muslim going to be careful. He's kind of leaving these Nesta Bs just a little bit far forward. So now the issue is you're going to have to replace all of this production back home. You're going to have to drop it down somewhere back here, nice and safe. Now, the Malian player has kept up with the villager count relatively well. You can see at the moment on only 10 vills short. So technically, we're only 6 vills short. Second TC is going to come in for Muslim. Remember, the Chinese does scale more effectively. Is Muslim going imp? There's a part of me that thinks Muslim's going imp in this position. If Muslim goes imp, Wololo comes through. Still no age up right now for our Malian player. If the Muslim goes imp into palace guards, into elite palace guards, I don't actually know how you deal with that. Obviously, Musafari are strong, but against elite palace guards, I can't help but feel like they're not going to trade well. Makes the right decision, leaves the battering here. Battering ram, rather. And now going to be moving the rest of his army back. You can see how slow everything's moving. He's got them all grouped together with the nest of bees. We return once again. Missing RGM. For more information, look in-game log files. There you guys go. Professional caster. Jeez. I don't know how that happened. I guess I got to restart my game. The Muslim now looking to secure up gold. Take note. He's not going for the back gold. He's going for the front one. He'll exhaust this and then fall back onto the safe gold. Really smart move. Slowly but steadily, that battering ram working its magic. We're right on board with the Muslim as he defends from the pocket. You can see how well he's played it so far. Never was able to secure up the full walls because his enemy was pushing in from this side, but did a great job in just making sure that his base was nice and safe. And interesting strat, interesting attempt to take that. Hey, at least he spotted the Grand Fulani Corral, right? Like, you got that going for you. All right, well, his enemy's going to spot out the keep, so he'll be well and truly aware. You'd love to see the Imperial official come up from the back here, up to the front. Age up comes through. The Muslim's going imp, though. Look at this. He recognizes the timing. He says, well, if you're going castle, I'm going imp. And the Muslim puts himself in a wonderful position, pushing out across the map. If I was him, I'd just avoid fighting until that elite upgrade comes through. You've got so many palace guards here. There's a huge difference between elite palace guards and castle age palace guards. Oh my lord, look at the production. You want rebuilding production? There you go. But once again, I can't help but feel like a little bit of a mistake coming through from our Malian player. What was wrong with back here underneath the town centers in the base? And now once the production gets camped, you're going to have to rebuild it again. So a little bit of a mistake coming through from the Malian player. And the game is by no means over at this point. But when your production gets camped like this, you're just pausing your... All of the resources are just going nowhere. Because anything that you make, it's just going to get picked off. Exactly how we just see it right there. Behind this, the Muslim, get ready. He's clicking up. What's he going to go with? I'm assuming Spirit Way. Counter-attack coming through. Military Academy also going to be researched here just so we can get out a couple units a little bit faster. How's the production for the Muslim here? It's not the best. There's not a huge amount of barracks in just yet. You'd normally expect at this point in the game, like maybe 9 to 10 barracks. Spirit Way coming through, though. And the final farm transition's coming through. The Muslim now up to 35 farms. A decent number. But look at how annoying this is right now. Malian player doing a wonderful job of just keeping the Muslim in his base. And you can see that the Muslim wanted to push at the front, but he feels the need to fall back. Not necessarily to defend, but to cover. He's fearful of these continued attacks. So just brings everything back. Picked up 3 relics so far. 4th relic is out here. 5th relic was here, but it's gone. All right, let's have a look and see the upgrades. Does he... I'm assuming he goes into elite palace guards. It's elite Jukunu. But he gets battle hardened for the palace guards. So he's doing a little bit of a bit size. He's got a bit of everything. Bit of this, bit of that. Needs that 300 food. Should be able to get the elite palace guard upgrade now. Let's see if he does it. I'm curious what his university tech's going to be. Spirit Way in the corner of the map as well. Beautiful positioning here with the Spirit Way. Just trying to hide it away from the enemy. There was also the push going in at the same time. There's the palace guards. Did he cancel the Chukunu? Yeah, he canceled the Chukunu. But he's put it back into queue. So here, I'd love to see the university drop down. Yeah, and he knows what he's doing. He's one of the best players in the world. He knows what he's doing. Straight into elite army tactics. Needs to make sure it's supervised. I don't know whether he's supervising this one right now. 36 seconds. I think that's getting supervised. 99% sure that's getting supervised. Just has to click it. There it is. Also looking to pick up ancient techniques. I'm assuming that's down in the corner here. Yeah, there's ancient techniques coming through. So Muslim just playing that early Chinese Imperial perfectly. Getting all the upgrades. Battle Hardened comes in. An extra 30 health on these bad boys. Where's that elite upgrade? Elite upgrade not too far away. 9 seconds away. Did he cancel? He didn't... Oh, he went Incendiary Arrows first? Where are the Jukunu? Oh, the Jukunu have been upgraded. Does he have +3? He doesn't have +3 yet, but he's still going to look to fight here. We'll head into the cinematic mode as Muslim is pushing out. We're going to worry less about his upgrades and more about his army as he begins pushing towards that enemy. Siege Workshop coming down as well. Needs to get a Springwood out. We hear deleting happening on behind the scenes. Maybe some walls. Maybe some villagers. Probably not villagers. And the Jukunu getting taken out by those javelin throwers. Palace Guards doing a wonderful job to split, and Muslim now looking to catch his enemy off guard. We've seen those raids coming through non-stop. Muslim says, you want a little bit of your own medicine? Here, take this. And begins to flood the enemy base with those Palace Guards, those notorious Palace Guards, the Palace Guard flood. But Muslim with a crazy fast Imperial in this game. This was honestly really well played. A lot of, generally the rule that people follow when they're not playing the Holy Roman Empire is you want to max out before you imp. It's a very loose rule, and it's not something that everybody follows, and it's not something that you even need to follow, but it's something that you can kind of go by the rule books. And the fact that he went for an Imperial this early, it's kind of wild. Because it's also very ballsy for him to do that, because it can go wrong. If the push comes in from the Malian player right at that time and you can't get those upgrades through, it can be really painful. You can see full damage Chukunu coming out now. This is what we were talking about in the early game. Fully upgraded Chukunu, plus 3 damage, elite upgrades, and incendiary arrows means a total of 11 damage. 11 damage up against the 6 armor. And remember that that's 11 times 3 damage. So it's huge, the amount that it does. Now Muslim puts in the middle of the map the Imperial Palace. Does he expose where the enemy villages are? He does indeed. He reveals their location. Muslim using his legal map hacks to just rampage across the map. Does he send out units towards it? He's not gonna need to. Good game gets called. Well played. And Muslim managing to have an incredible hold there, losing both town centers and still pulling back the double TC. Well played by him. Fellas, go check out Muslim. I'll leave a link in the description, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.